care. I don't care if that's the goal that could have been as the title. Goal difference, small difference. 4 years I've been doing the Gersnet preview pods, and not once have I correctly predicted the score. I've never got a score prediction right. 4 years. League Cup, Scottish Cup, European games, league games. No, never once. And I was a minute away from it today. I says to Robin Friday night, we're going to win 3-1. We're going to win 3-1, and I was a minute away from it today, and up pops big bloody shovelhead John Souttar to ruin it for me. When's the last time John Souttar ever scored for... I know he scored for Rangers, but can you remember a significant goal that John Souttar has ever scored for Rangers? No, he just did it to bloody annoy me. Oh, last Old Firm game of the season. Last season. We won 3-0 in the last Old Firm game of the season. Oh, that could be symbolic. How you doing, folks? Welcome to your Gersnet immediate post-match reaction pod, coming to you in association with Forest Precision Engineering and Football Prizes. My name's Alec Anderson, and I reckon that was about an 8 or a 9, maybe even 9.5 in 4 beers' time. That blue Topshop top I've got on is nice. Should have been Castor, but yeah, it scores high. There's just one thing that's really annoying me about you see. And yeah, I know I've told you the squad's totally unfit, but my gosh, why don't you know it? I'm not trying to fool you. I'm not saying you didn't already knew that we were... And you know what I'm saying? I know you guys get it. I know you guys get it, that the squad is totally unfit. But today, I think we just proved with that blowing away of Kilmarnock, beating Kilmarnock by 3 clear goals in the end. Up there, 10-man Kilmarnock, yeah, I get that. But I mean, a Derek McInnes side, it's a goal up and down to 10 men. That just gives Derek McInnes the licence to do what he wants to do, which is sit in deep, block, spoil, hamper. It's an absolute nightmare scenario when you think about it. And we come away today cancelling out everything that Celtic did yesterday. And what I'm actually doing here is having a go at myself. This is going to be long, this is going to be convoluted, but why be any different now? I've been doing these post-match reaction pods all season. Why change the format now? But yeah, I had an absolute nightmare of a Saturday night. I know a lot of you guys did too. I've been spending the whole season being Mr. Mitigation. I am Mr. Mitigation in life in general. I'm always trying to see the whole picture, and with Rangers since 2012, I have been like, yeah, we'll just take all these blows, we'll take it in the chin, we'll keep moving forward. Let's look at the overall picture. Even this season, I'm saying the fact we're back in 2 cup finals, both the major cup finals, for the first time since 2009. Even if we don't win the league, that is the kind of progress we need to be making, clawing that kind of stuff out of our season so that we are moving forward generally, and we will get back to being that team that wins trebles and doubles and wins consecutive league titles. But a lot of people question the character of the players. It's the same old losers, blah blah blah, and I've been kind of not going to the mattresses exactly, but I've been going to KFC and Burger King and what have you. But I'm quite happy to say that the players, it's not their fault, it's the injuries. It's just the amount of injuries we've got. Our own manager just now, our second manager of the season, has he been blaming the first manager of the season, Michael Beale? Is he blaming something institutional, something that's gone with previous regimes that's causing the amount of injury problems we've got? Is it something to do with Auchenhowie? Who knows? But it's a stated reason for Rangers being in the situation where we've kind of thrown away a bit of a lead in the league. But I've been quite vocal in not having a problem with that. I was trying to say to Robin Friday night, are we trying to get are we getting back into a bit of form here? The last 2 results are wins after a draw and a loss, and a draw before that. The fact that they weren't very convincing, should we put that to the side and hope that the players are actually starting to find a bit of form right at the death in a season that's going to go to the wire now? And they did today. They proved that that's actually the case, but last night I was Mr. Hypocrisy. I'd spending too much time on Twitter probably. Do you do that thing? Did you do the thing? I'm not religious, but yeah, I'm so superstitious. It's unbelievable. That's a whole thing with supporting Rangers. We're giving all your love to 11 guys that you're never going to meet. You can't control it. You can't do anything to make them any better. And I was saying to Robin Friday night, I was talking away quite positively. I thought I'd emotionally factored in the fact that Celtic were going to beat Hearts yesterday. I just didn't have a problem with it. But yesterday I'm doing the usual where I don't know why we've got green towels in the house. I don't know what is it, just to prove that I'm not actually completely insane. But yet when it comes to a day Celtic are playing, suddenly there's green towels, and do you put them down to the bottom railing on the radiator, or do you just not use them at all? I mean, does rubbing your groin dry with a green towel, is that you can really insulting Celtic and getting their face in it, or is it doing it with a blue towel? Is that more lucky or something like that because you're touching your body with the sacred cup? I don't know how these things work. I just know that I haven't had pea and ham soup more than twice in the last 5 years, and I love pea and ham soup, but it's just too much green. I mean, I'm trying to be after the drink, I'm going to be on it tonight, but anticipating that and the fact that I'm one biscuit away from a heart attack, I wasn't having any drink Friday night, I wasn't having any drink Saturday night, so I'm doing the soft drinks, and my favourite soft drink is a soda water and lime. I had a soda water and lime in the Royalty Bar before we played Liverpool. I'm sitting with Colin wants a pint. Colin, I need to have a soft drink, mate. I need to get off it. I'm going to I'll just have a soda water and lime. And a Rangers boozer. We get beat 7-1. The worst night of my entire life supporting Rangers. We get beat 7-1. That's stuff like that. You don't forget stuff like that. So I'm doing all that stuff yesterday, without really thinking about it. Just doing all the anti-green stuff, the pathetic, superstitious stuff. And then I turned on Sky Sports and they've won 2-0. Celtic have won 2-0. That's just the score. It's up there on the right-hand side. Celtic have beat Hearts by 2-0. Right, that's fine. I was cool with that. I was expecting that. It's not as if they've stuffed them or anything like that. And then the score changed as I had switched it on. I think it was about 5-5 or something. I thought that'll be it. The game will be byway. And all the scores were the same colour. I thought that meant, and it changes to 3-0. And it's 87 minutes. They've went 3-0. I suddenly started thinking they're going to score 5 or 6. Or I wasn't for 1 second thinking Hearts were going to pull goals back. I just plummeted. That was it. I just went over the edge. And last night I was the foulest of moods. I'm sitting there, God, they've won 3-0, and I just think we're going to chuck it. And I think it's. I wasn't losing faith in the players. I wasn't changing my stance, on the players being. Really scuppered by injuries this season. The players that can play all the time, the guys that are, Tav, Dessers, etc., the guys that are up to 50 appearances are just getting scunnered with the amount of changes that's going on round about them this season. They're kind of playing themselves to a halt almost. I wasn't starting to question the players' character, but the negativity you see online, the negativity from Rangers Twitter. You shouldn't go on Twitter. Twitter's built on negativity. It's built on splitting people into to left and right, black and white, and it's horrible. It craves negativity. It creates negativity, and I shouldn't have been on that. I should know better, but. I don't know, I went to a really dark place last night. I maybe do this before every bloody game we play on a Sunday. I'm quite negative. I'm one of those, prepare for the, hope for the best, prepare for the worst type of people, but I was terrible last night. I thought we're going to chuck this, and I could predict the wailing, the gnashing of teeth, and the slating of our own players by our own fans coming from the stands. Something that maybe it's traumatised me the couple of times it's happened already this season. And I thought this is what's going to happen. We're going to just throw the league away to the point where I actually now standing here outside Ibrox, Rangers have beaten Kilmarnock by 4-1. We're 3 points and 5 goals off the top of the league going into the third last game of the season, which is that head-to-head with Celtic. I feel as if that's absolutely fine. Whatever happens next weekend happens. They don't next Saturday night if we get tanked 5-0 or Celtic equalise in injury time or something like that. I'll be hard pushed to put a positive spin on it, but I just feel as if this was the point we needed to get to. Don't surrender, without getting all orange ludge about it. Just no surrender. Just do not surrender it. Don't throw it away cheaply, as we're being accused of doing by a lot of our fans who, just people don't have time in life to diagnose every problem at Rangers and look into it sometimes the way I do because I'm so boring by nature. People have got their lives to get on with. They just want Rangers to cheer them up. Life's shit for a lot of people right now. So Rangers aren't getting the result that they need to help them in life. They just lash out at the team. Football teams are there to provide that kind of social function in life. But I was just so relieved the day that we didn't actually end up doing that. We're taking it to the wire. We're going to go to Parkhead. We've given ourselves a chance. We're going to have an honest square go with these bastards next week, and that's what it's all about for me. Just get it to that point. Rangers do not shit out, and don't give a lot of the more kind of negative-minded of our fans the excuse to accuse us of that. And today ended up by the last minute of the game, after John Souttar makes it 4-1, maybe another chance it could have been 5-1. You think we're going to start chipping away at the goal difference already. Well, we've evened out what Celtic did yesterday. we've got the reversal of these fixtures to go, and I feel more worried as a Celtic supporter going to Rugby Park with their record there this season than I would as a Rangers supporter going to Tynecastle with their record there all the time. But no, let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's not tempt fate. The main thing was Rangers, just wacky circumstances today. Really, really strange start to the game. The big thing, the big news for me in a post-match reaction, other than the score, is that what we've wanted, the last couple of performances I've been wanting. The spirit hasn't been there, the pace hasn't been there, the energy hasn't been there, and the people have been putting that down to morals, the moral fibre of these players. I wasn't believing that. I was hoping turning a loss and draw into 2 wins was a sign that we're starting to get back to form, and maybe having a week off, another full week off would help with that. It has. Rangers were at it from the off today. We go a goal behind, we miss a penalty. We go a goal behind to a Derek McInnes team, as I say, who can just, Derek McInnes loves nothing more than an excuse just to sit in, and it's a nightmare scenario. You're a goal down, albeit, we've got one more man in the park than Kilmarnock, but you're a goal down to a Derek McInnes side early doors. They can sit in and just block, obfuscate, hamper, do all that they do, stop play, hold up the. But Rangers had just got enough energy, they'd just started with enough pace, enough vigour to carry on past that, to get over that hurdle. And it ends up, when you look back on all the things that went against it today, the fact that we've come through that with a 4-1 win against one of the teams you're kind of dreading, let's be honest, in this run-in is... It's a strange kind of elation and relief about me today. It really is. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same. I'm just trying to tap into whatever you're feeling, guys, by being as honest as possible. Sorry if I'm rambling. Right, okay, the bare bones of the game. It was the same starting lineup as Paisley last week, so that means Dujon Sterling was on the right hand side. We had Borna at left back. Cyril Dessers is up front. Fabio Silva, that's maybe the biggest news. It's the same team, but still a lot of talking to be done about those various positions. Fabio Silva maintains his position on the left hand side of the three up front, and you've got Leon Balogun in at centre half, of course, alongside John Suter, because Connor Goldson's season is over. Tav at right back. It's just the weirdest bloody thing. Jenna Lassie sits next to me, she says to me today, she's like, look at that up, look at the scoreboard up there. And it said Celtic. The scoreboards, we've got the wee scoreboards above the away section, and then up at the other corner, the opposite corner, between the Copeland and the Govan. And it said Rangers against Celtic. It flicked back to Rangers Kilmarnock, then it became Rangers Celtic again. It's like, the symbolism. Like Marvin Andrews comes out at half time a day, and next week we probably need a, Gregory Vignal deflected shot and Nacho Novo with the most beautiful, tantalising, sexy lob you've ever seen in your life. It's gone up. Is it going to come down? Because if it does, it's gone past a totally exposed Rab Douglas, and Barry Ferguson just back home is dictating the pace. And that's the kind of performance we need next week. We need Marvin's helicopter Sunday levels of belief, and he came out at half time a day to a hero's reception, and it was great. It was just a lot of weird stuff going on, a lot of symbolism, and the game. I was making wee jibes almost. Again, I say Mr. Hypocrisy, trying to be all positive, telling other folk to get behind the team, and there was me tweeting today, well, if we get through the first minute without making the same kind of mistake that we've made in the first minute of 4 of the last 5 games, there'll be such an uplift amongst the crowd that we'll go on and romp the game. And that is actually what happened. But it was a minute 15 seconds, and I turned around to make that joke to Davey that I sit next to. Davey, we've no given away a chance on goal in the first minute, so we're going to be absolutely fine. And then the craziness started, the VAR taking over. I think we had about 4 minutes of play and 20 minutes of VAR in the first kind of 25 minutes, half an hour of the game. Today, was it a penalty? That was supposed to be a penalty. It stopped for 3 minutes while they looked at it. The ball had been in the Kilmarnock box. And then the referee gets called to the monitor. You know how they usually go. Is it Dickinson, the guy? Angie Dickinson or Bruce Dickinson would have been better. He comes back out. No, it's not a penalty. So that lets us start. I mean, maybe it wasn't a penalty. It wasn't a handball or something like that. Just because the guy goes to look at the monitor doesn't mean it needs to be a penalty. But I got the crowd a wee bit. That's a wee bit unusual. Therefore, it's a massive conspiracy. And then something else happened. Something else happened as well. again, there was more appeals for stuff and blah de blah. Didn't quite happen. And then Kilmarnock did that kind of set piece move in open play where they pinged the ball to the back post. I have no idea what happened. Basically, I was touching cloth as it was, and just things. My insides collapsed. My head went. It was like a car crash. I don't know if somebody should have been picking up somebody or whatever, but it was an awful goal for us to lose. It was a very deliberate move by Kilmarnock, and the ball goes in off Tav. Over the line. It's a James Tavernier own goal, 12 minutes in, although we'd been playing for about half an hour with all the VAR stops already. And you're like, this is fantastic. But we'd started well. We'd actually started, the determination was there was a liveliness about us. Could we use that to overcome this early setback? We go up into the Kilmarnock box, and then the referee's flagging for offside. As linesman, it's offside, alright, so that attack didn't count. It seemed that Diamandi had been kind of fouled on the line, and then it goes to VAR. And it's a penalty, and a Kilmarnock player is sent off, and I thought we were supposed to be offside, and for a while during the wait to see what VAR was going to do, I wondered, this has all come from a Kilmarnock attack, is it actually going to be a penalty to Kilmarnock? And they were going to go 2-0 up. It was insane, but next thing, a Kilmarnock player has been shown the red card. Tav's got a chance to quickly, because you know what, as I say, I'm going to keep going about this. McInnes sitting in deep, it's not a problem for him to only have 10 men in the park. We need to get the goal, and just the whole weirdness of the day, Tav missing the penalty, or it being saved by the keeper getting down to his left hand side. Yeah, that made sense. That just made a strange kind of sense. And we plugged away with the extra man, and with a rhythm about us. We're a bit too deliberate though. We're carving wee chances, but we seem to never quite have the man in the middle. I know that sounds like I'm talking about Cyril Dessers as well. Is that a Michael Jackson song? I'm searching for the man. Anyway, it wasn't quite happening, but we put a couple of good balls, whether somebody's heading the ball back across goal or Borna was getting more space. It was Armstrong. They took off Armstrong tactically, Kilmarnock. You know, the wee tactical shift after they go down to 10 men, and that was good for Borna. He's bad on the plastic. He's terrible on the plastic against Armstrong, but he wasn't that great against them for the first 12 minutes or so on the grass. But he get a bit more freedom, Borna. So we got a couple of balls across the face of the goal, but we didn't seem to have anybody really committing themselves, throwing themselves at the ball with that kind of determination to make something happen. There was no anticipation. It was like we were trying to kind of walk the ball into the back of the net, you know what I mean? As it would be written on a whiteboard. But that's exactly how we scored. That's exactly how we got. The usual howls of derision. Because why is John Souttar sitting between the two centre halves? Because we're playing with two fucking fullbacks that are so far forward that it's Cessnock Underground. They're so far. The whole point of the Rangers kind of the 4-2-3-1 formation is, because the wing backs are going to be so high, well, especially when you're against 10 men. I know Clermont has been tucking them in a bit. You need that protection. So if you're playing against 10 men, the wing backs just become midfielders. You need somebody who's going to sit in to give us 3 men at the back as opposed to 4. And so Lundstrom's sitting deeper in between the two centre halves. That was getting a few howls of derision, but it was John Lundstrom who pings it. I know, I'm sorry, right, the first half we're shooting the other direction, so it's no Cessnock Underground, it's the KFC up at the corner of Helen Street in Shield Hall Road, KFC. I don't know why an athlete myself would be thinking about the KFC up there, but if you've seen the adverts for the new KFC, the barbecue chicken burger, is it actually the Warren G version, or is it just the Doobie Brothers? I don't know, but the music in there, maybe you don't know about this, kids, but I remember it was Warren G that I first heard that tune, and I'm thinking, no, that's what sums up James Tavernier with John Lundstrom. We want to be... The negativity they're getting is the regulars. They're the regulars in the team. No, Warren G regularly. I don't know, that's a bit of a stretch. But they're the guys. They're the leadership group and all that. They're the same old losers letting us down again and again. But we want to be Warren G. We want to be all regulate, total kind of hip hop rapish type song that's very trendy and very cool in the clubs and what have you. That leads to the negativity against the old guys. But that tune is made by Michael McDonald, the Doobie Brothers, a classic Michael McDonald song. And Tav and Lundstrom, they are that rhythm, they are that sample. They're the bit that song does not exist without. That song doesn't become the hit. It needs to be without these two. And Tav he's missed the penalty, but my God, especially second half, I thought he was phenomenal. Some of his attacking play and just his determination to lead the team despite having scored their own goal and missed the penalty with the league title at stake and his own reputation as always. And John Lundstrom pings a ball to the back post at Fabio Silva. This is the 8th minute of injury time, the very last minute of 8 minutes of injury time at the end of that first half, and it should have been about 20 minutes injury time because of the VAR. Fabio Silva, much maligned, gets in there and he basically walks into the back. A lovely guided ball from Lundstrom and a guided pass into the bottom corner of the net from Fabio Silva right in the stroke of half time, right in the nick of time, so that the negativity can't take over. And we know we've got a second half against 10 men and the score's back to all square. Still, I was so nervous, folks. I was so nervous. Another thing about me, I'm just going to hit you with the personal stuff. I know these post-match reaction pods are getting longer and longer. That's why I've got so much sympathy for the players. They're not getting sharper, they're not getting faster, these post-match reaction pods, with the more I do. I'm just running out of gas. They're getting more and more long-winded because I'm getting unsharper and I'm getting worse at them. So I can't have a go at the players when they're struggling for having to play 50-odd games a season. With all the changes that are going on about them. But I don't know about you when it comes to losing your temper about stuff. You'll see the way I'm always. People get back to me with the post-match reaction pods. Sorry, I don't mind going into myself here, but they'll say to me, "Alec, you're very positive. That's it. You're giving us a bit of belief there, big man. That's quite good. When there's been a setback, when there's been a bad result, I'll try and find the positive in it. But like in life, where for example, we can't get that suitcase shut. Don't worry, dear, I'll get that for you. No, don't panic about it. I'll just get that. It's okay, I've got it. It's not working just now, but I'll eventually get it. It's not until I go, this bloody suitcase is doing nothing. What is the problem here? I make a complete fanny of myself with my petulance. That then it slots shut absolutely perfectly. That wee light's coming up in the dash of the car. Let's say one of the doors is open. That's okay, dear. That's fine. I'll look into that. Just you go. You go on your business. I'll look into that, my dear. It's not that passenger door. That's fine. It's not that passenger door. That's fine. Oh, it's not that door in the back. It's not the driver's door. That's absolutely fine. No, what the fuck? It's not. I can't get this light to go off. I'm going to have to go to quick fit or something. That's going to cost an absolute fortune. Oh, it's the boot. It's the boot. There's something stuck in the lock in the boot, so it's absolutely fine. Need to completely lose the rag before things start going the way I want them to. And even though we got the goal. And it's at half time, the big news, I don't know, was Balogun to blame, and I don't know, maybe Craig and Scott and their far more professional post-match reaction pod, they've been at the post-match presser, maybe they'll tell you, you'll probably know yourself already, it'll have been on Sky or whatever. I don't know as I stand here what happened, why Leon Balogun went off. Vassell was kind of bullying him, maybe that's what it was. Vassell was kind of bullying the Kilmarnock centre forwards. Big bulky guy, very clever guy, total pro. He was knocking Leon Balogun about at times. I don't know if it was that. Was Leon Balogun completely at fault for Kilmarnock's goal? That's it. The Kilmarnock goal passed me by, as it did the Rangers defence. Or, is there another injury? Is Balogun out? But Ben Davies appears at half-time. As soon as Connor Golson was announced as being out for the season on Friday, myself and Rob and everybody else on Friday are speculating, does this mean we're going to see Ben Davies again at some point? Yeah, pretty much. And it's a touch of genius for the manager as he goes in, and it's a John Lundstrom shot. It's a John Lundstrom again. Lunny rattles that thing, hits it clean, hits it perfect because he's sitting back far enough to have a look. And I noticed that when John Lundstrom's pushing up and Diamandi's sitting in between the two centre halves, no problem there. No problem with Diamandi. He's great. He's the flavour of the month just now. So we just have our favourites, and it tends to be the guys that have been there longest that we all feel cleverest hating. But John Lundstrom hits a shot and it spins just enough. The Kilmarnock goalie can't hold it, and in goes Ben Davies, a la his goal against Real Betis this season. That was this season, hard to believe, which he kind of knocked onto I think he kicked Seema's foot on. I think Seema got the credit for that goal, but Ben Davies in there again, just getting in about the goalies. The ball's bouncing about. Wasn't the tidiest finish, but in it goes. 2-1 up. That's about an hour into the games. You're thinking this is absolutely fine, but I've got to get another story. I'm sorry. Listen, guys, there's only 3 or 4 more of these you're going to get this season anyway. So switch off now if you want. Fast forward, do what you need to. But did you see the goalkeepers today? I was going to this Mirren goalie kit last season. Did you see the goalkeepers kits today? They're like highlighter pens. a kind of salmon kit that Kilmarnock are wearing red. Their away kit is their second kit is basically our fourth kit this season. Exactly the same, the red with the blue shorts and what have you. But they're wearing red, and their own goalie's wearing a kind of pink colour with red shorts, and Jack Butland's wearing this kind of salmony pink, kind of reddish brownish thing. The two goalies, they look like highlighter pens, and I suddenly realised, I remembered, I used to work in the bookies. I used to work when I was doing my remedial woodwork course, at night time and at the weekends. I would work for Ladbrokes, just working the tills and all that, working in the bookies. And my big thing was that I knew all the fitness scores. I could, pretty much, because I was so into my football, I would check all the fixed odds coupons, as the days we used to have coupons and all that. This is when it was all still paper, folks. And it was 97-98 season, so I wasn't going to the games, but obviously it still meant the world to me. I couldn't afford to be going to games. I was in full-time education. And it was the day we played Kilmarnock, 97-98. We're going for 10 in a row. It's neck and neck with Celtic. There's only a few games left to go, and we've got Kilmarnock at Ibrox. And the scores in the bookies, it was a wee kind of, let's remember CFAX, it was that kind of screen you'd had up behind the counter, and it was always behind me, so I had to keep going back to check the scores. It was just so we knew, because people have got a lot of football bets on. And the scores would be, it was the colours of the goalies' tops today. It was a kind of reddish brown when the scores were live. Just like I was yesterday watching that Celtic score coming in against Hearts. And they went a kind of pink when it was full time. They just turned pink when it was full time. And I knew we had to beat Kilmarnock. And I'm sitting and I'm in the bookies, and it's just, there's no radio. The radio coverage, the tellies and that in the bookies, obviously it's all dogs and horses and what have you. It's just horses by that point. And I'm looking at it's 0-0. It's a kind of red score, 0-0. It's red, it's 0-0. It says red, it's 0-0. I'm taking bets for the 2.15 at Kempton and stuff, what have you, and that made bets, but just checking back. And folk coming in, obviously it's like the bookies, it was in the salt market, it's not there anymore, I think, or it's a different position. It was in the salt market, it was like Dickensian. It was absolutely, it was interesting days. But folk are coming in and they're asking, how's Rangers getting on, what's the Rangers score? Celtic fans and Rangers fans want to know how Rangers are getting on while they're throwing away their money in horses and dogs. And I'm like, it's 0-0, it's still 0-0, and I'm like, fucking change. And I knew we were right towards it. All the other scores are starting to go pink. They're starting to go pink. And then the Rangers score, I looked round, and it was 0-1, and it was pink. It just changed. It was like the moment it changed to full time, it wasn't just 0-0. Kilmarnock had scored it, and that was Ali Mitchell. And you remember that, if you're of my age, that's arguably the most devastating goal of my entire life, because that was a goal that meant there was still, Rangers were running on empty, we're running in fumes, and we still took it right to the last moment of that season. But this was the day. Celtic got a chance to win the league the next day. I think they waited in Dunfermline, and then they chucked it, and they were a goal up, and they ended up drawing, and that kind of, it just delayed the agony for a bit. But my God, that meant, 9 in a row and 10 in a row, two separate things, even though obviously they're completely related. Getting 9 was the main thing, but the chance to get 10, it takes you a decade to get to that point. And that day, I just remember that changing, that scoreline. I can still see it up on that squalid wee screen behind the perspex screens that were in front of me to stop the punters assault me when their horse didn't come in time. It just turned around from 0-0 to 0-1, and I've been wanting it to go to 1-0. And there was no live play. It just went straight full time. Come on at 1-0. Ali Mitchell, and that was a goal that cost us 10 in a row. That was, and it wasn't. There was other things, other chances we had that season. Neil McCann getting Richard Gough sent off when he's playing for Hearts and stuff like that. There was other things that season that cost us 10 in a row, but that was the moment. And I've never been so devastated in my entire life, I don't think, by a goal scored against Rangers. And today it was 2-1, and it was 2-1. And John Lundstrom has a shot. I just needed to get to 3. I could see a Kilmarnock team, 10 men, they will equalise in the last minute, and that'll be it. It'll be Ali Mitchell all over again. It's no 10 in a row, I know, we're not being caught, but it would put us properly back. It meant we'd surrender the league before we'd even get a chance to go to Parkhead and have it out with them next week. And the ball goes to John Lundstrom on the edge of the box. We're 2-1 up, and I thought it was about 68 minutes or something like that, and he has a shot. And it looks, I'm on the other side, and it looks like it's on the bottom of the net, and I did that thing where I let myself go. I went up and I cheered it before I knew it was in the back of the net. I'm usually quite cautious about those kind of things, and it went past the post, and I fucking lost it. I was angry at myself, as much as anybody else, but I just embarrassed myself, and it's luckily the folk round about me know me, and they were like, what is going on with him? And they gave me about a minute to calm down, and then they slagged 7 shades of you-know-what out me, and it was hilarious. We'll all kill ourselves, but I just... There was the C word was in there, and the F word was in there, and they were repeated intermittently for about 2 minutes straight. I couldn't take it. I couldn't handle it. I lost it. I lost it last night in terms of belief, and I lost it today. Completely in terms of my cool, in terms of everything. I just couldn't handle it, and that was it. We then 2 minutes later we score. Lundstrom goes off. We brought on. We took Cantwell off, and on came Tom Lawrence and somebody else. I can't even remember now. We scored a goal of wondrous quality. Wondrous quality. It was the moment I was talking with Robin Friday night. I needed to see us doing that thing we did towards. On the road to Helicopter Sunday, where we had some bad performances, obviously giving Celtic the advantage, but we then turned in that 3-1 win at Pittodrie where Purcell scores the 2 goals, sliding through the rain and all that to celebrate. And we had that today. We turned it into that today, and I couldn't celebrate it because I had seen a Kilmarnock player trying to claim it had been fouled by Cyril Dessers at the very start of a glorious sweeping move. And who do you want to? And who's been sweeping into the opposition box for fun as a substitute the last 2 games more than Tom Lawrence? I've been talking about it after the game against St Mirren, after the game against Hearts at Hampden, where he just looks like he's taking on the rest of the opposition as if it's a 5-a-side game, and he does it today, and he puts this thing at the back of net, and folk round about me are all over one another. They're going absolutely mental. I'm getting my shoulders shooting on it, but I'm like, no, the way this game has been going today with the VAR, I need to wait until this is confirmed as a goal. So that then turns into me having been the guy who's shouting and swearing like an idiot. And folk are apologising to women that are here today for my language. It's embarrassing. People that were just visiting the day they were in there's a couple of seats next to me that are on the season ticket seats, and Davey behind me, who is quite foul-mouthed when it comes to judging referees. He's saying sorry about that. He's not usually like that, It's funny. But I've gone from that nutter to then the nutter who, when everybody else is settled down for the celebrating the goal, the referee points to the spot to say kick off. Means there's no VAR check. Means it's officially a goal. I'm getting off my nut. Yeah, beauty. Well, everybody else is going to settle down and just ready for the rest of the show. And the rest of the show, that was 3-1. It was comfortable. Come on, a few more chances. We brought on Yilmaz, we brought on Ross McCausland, and we end up we get that goal in injury time from Big John Suter. And we're set up for next week's, folks. Sorry, I'm drained. I'm sorry this is yabbering and going on and on and on. I'm really sorry about that, but it's been an emotional few weeks, and it's just great to see Rangers back at it and getting a bit about us, a bit of character, a bit of zest, a bit of zip in time for... It's going to be a title decider, isn't it, next week? Not actually, but effectively. So, good news is you've got sensible people, guys who can articulate things a lot more concisely, a lot less verbosely on the main pod tonight. I think Craig and Scott will be doing a podcast, a post-match reaction pod, which you've probably seen already from Inside Ibrox. But tonight they make the flagship show 9:30. It's going to be Craig hosting that, and Colin and Stuart. So that'll be fantastic. You'll get the skinny for the boys. Please tune into that live 9:30 on our YouTube channel, folks. And thanks very much for your time. I'm trying to think of something poetic to end with, something significant. But all it is I'm going to go to the pub and I'm going to get those 4 beers, and we'll just turn this from a 8 or a 9 into a 9.5. Have a lovely night, folks, and we'll talk to you soon.